yesterday when we got back, I decided to hit up my sort of go-to record store, which is Mad Platter. They have the best hours out of any record store I've seen. Yeah, they open at 10, they close at 9. They're open 7 days a week. Yeah. Anyway, we gotta keep this a quick and dirty video. So, I found some great stuff there. Spent about a couple hours there. So I did a deep dig, focusing on sort of the miscellaneous used records, like miscellaneous A, miscellaneous B, and so on. Just dug through those sections rather than looking through, the more common artists that you would find there. Anyway, let's get to this. I have about, I don't know, 6 or 7 records here. So, the first one. This is Maynard Ferguson, Primal Scream. This is from 1976, and by my account, it's his 40th album. Yeah, so he's kind of known as the screaming trumpeter. He's from Canada. Basically a band leader that got his start with Stan Kenton before going on to do solo work. Does kind of hard bop, jazz pop, crossover jazz. And this one, AllMusic only gave it 3 stars. But what sold me on it is apparently this album mixes, sort of the jazz sounds with disco and funk. So that should be interesting. Plus, look at that cover. Are you kidding me? Oh man! All right, this one I'm pretty excited about. It's what some would call virgin vinyl. Yes, and as you see here, even though it was sold used, it's still sealed. So, very excited about that. He's more famous as a songwriter. In fact, I'm going to rattle off some of the people he's written for. Conway Twitty, Stan Kenton, to connect him with the previous artist, Tennessee Ernie Ford, Herb Alpert, John Conley, Waylon Jennings, Gary Newman, Neil Diamond, Gloria Gaynor. He wrote the song I Will Survive, apparently. Very famous song. Yes, and the strangest of all, Ice-T. Interesting. But he is most famous for the song Chevy Van, and then also Early Morning Love apparently was a hit. So, and this is on a label I've never heard of, General Recording Corporation, GRC. Let's see, this basically album rock, AM pop, soft rock. The little samples I heard reminded me a little bit of Donovan, a little bit. And this is his debut album from 1975. Alright, this one is very interesting. I bought this on the cover alone, but I did a little research. This is Classics Nouveau, self-titled. Basically, I mean, you can kind of tell by the cover. It's new wave, yeah. So with my little bit of research, I confirmed that it was new wave, but you can kind of tell just by looking at the cover. So this is from 1981. It could be their debut album, although they did release Night People that same year. Yeah, so basically it's considered new wave, new romantic. Not sure what new romantic is exactly as it relates to new wave, but there you go. So that's very cool. Again, I bought this strictly on the cover. This is an artist you definitely see in the vinyl community. Adrian Belew. This is Twang Bar King. Let's see. I have my notes here. Basically, he's a guitar virtuoso, most famous for his work in King Crimson, The Bears, and Tom Tom Club. This particular album comes from 1983. His second album, All Music, gives it 4 stars. Basically, it's album rock, experimental rock. Very cool. I was pretty excited to find that. All right, now this one, it's kind of I didn't realize it was this badly split on the spine there. I'm gonna have to do some work on it, but needless to say, I'm still very excited about this. This is an interesting band. They're prog rock and British folk. What really sets them apart is they use instruments from like medieval times to Elizabethan times. So they're using like, historical instruments, and they kind of pattern their songs from those time periods too. So this is their 4th album from 1972. All Music gives it 4.5 stars. I definitely need to pick up their more of their stuff, but Amazing Blondell with their album England. A couple more. Hopefully I can keep this a quick and dirty video. Very, very excited about this. The Icicle Works. Yes. So, again, new wave, also a little bit of neo-psychedelia and post-punk. This is their debut album from 1984, 4.5 stars on All Music. And I also have this on cassette. So I was thrilled to find this on vinyl for $5. Nice. And last and certainly not least, I've seen this recently in the vinyl community. It has members from Deep Purple and Johnny Winter's band, as well as Lee Dorman, the bass player of Iron Butterfly, one of my other favorite bands. Basically hard rock, prog rock. This is their first of 3 albums from 1972, and AllMusic.com gives it 4.5 stars, so it's supposed to be very, very good. Whew! Kept it under 10 minutes. How about that? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.